Yes, hi guys. Good morning to you, everyone. Yes, I salute each and every one of you. I am back again today, Friday, the 30th day of November 2018. Now, guys, it's very sunny in London. There's no rain. I think the temperature currently in London is right about 8 degrees Celsius. The time is just coming to 11 o'clock. Yes, Ayogundimu AY, I can spot you. You are online. I think I can see I can see, yes, hi, Ayo Samson and Jory. I can equally spot you. Yeah, Ayo, good morning, my good friend and my brother. Yes, I can spot all of you. You are switching in almost immediately. Now, today I'm not going to cue any type of tune, but will rather just invite other people in. So you guys that are already in, yes, please I'll share this, because this is going to be a little bit hot and provocative. Let me invite other people in as well. Yeah, I can see Prince Adebukun Saratu, my auntie Dr. Umi Akitinde. Although we've got time differences, so the time differences will actually make up, because some people are not in England. I've got viewers and a lot of people around the whole world, so I'm going to try and invite somebody's I can see Remsi as well. Yes, just give me some minutes, guys, and I will be with you ASAP. Let me just try and invite all those my regulars. Yes, I've got Dukba Shama there, Otumba Olabode Oseni. Yeah, I think yeah, Toby is in the States. Yeah, champion. These are the Buhari Dean. Yes, Kasim Afegba, Benson Olusegun, Dominic. Yeah. Yeah, Niyi Thomas. I think Tunde Alabi is in Nigeria. I can see Yemzi Jenkins went for the dad's burial. So I saw a few pictures of the dad's funeral, the casket in Adoikiti earlier on today. Yep. Okay, Babatunde Benson, Julius Amudeli, Ayogundimu is already in. Okay, Alaba Yusuf, okay, Olamogaji, yeah, Jerry Mangla in Uganda. Okay, yeah. Chief Shegun Akidaini. Just give me a few minutes of your time to invite all these guys in, gentlemen, and I will be with you, and we will kickstart we really needed to trash out today. Peter Lauren Nishomo, yes. I think I'm going to play Kayode Ogundamisi's clip today. Yeah, it's one of the highlights that I have at the moment. Yeah, Ruben, Godwin Ogenede, yeah, Richmond Obodo, yeah, okay, yeah, Katsun Azu, okay, yeah. Oh, somebody just said he's highly disappointed because I think I sent out something, one of those Buhari deans. So I sent something out to sound image. So I think I can see his message coming in as I'm inviting you guys in. Samson Ajori is already in, but I've sent you another invite. Yomi Omobako Soko, yes. Olawale Jelo, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yep. Okay, yes. 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 Interesting. Okay, let me do it this way. That is a little bit painful. Okay, yeah. Oh, Tokumbo no Shoga KTA. Okay, yeah. Yep. Lowo Boroku. John Craig Bolaho, my good friend. Raymond, I can't see some of you, so you guys will have to pardon me until I'm sorted out with this invite. Ono with your sorrow, yeah. Dr. Mark Abani. Some are currently at work. I can see those who are at work at the moment, but yeah, everybody is important. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Dr. Owade, Dele Muhammadu, Mr. Rojo. Okay, my long time good friend. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. Festus Benga Akilo. Yeah, today we're doing archaeology tour. Yeah. Yep. Alistair, show your day of Ben TV. Yeah. JJ McCharles. Yep. Okay. And I think I should be rounding up any minute from now. I think I should. Yeah. Kelechi. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ni shouldn't care. Isioma Okuta. Yeah. Rabiu Mohammed Bature. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me just put a hold to that for now. Okay, let's see who and who. Yeah, Samson Anjorin. Yeah, Prince Adebukun. Kingsley Agberiba. Yeah, what's up, eh? Well, what's up, man? Princess Lola Omochamin. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Dr. Umiakitende in the States. Oh, I thought my mom would still be sleeping. Ah, my good friend Fatai Ogunribido. Oh yes. Eshiko. Huh? We are in real big shit. Yeah. Many are not seeing what you and me are seeing. They are not. Oh, Mr. Ogunribido. You see, let me just tell you guys that I've got one of my very good friend and learned colleague in the pen fraternity, who is equally watching, Mr. Fatai Ogunribido. He's very ruthless, far more ruthless when it comes to utilizing his pen to say things as they are. You see, I've got loads of people who are far more ruthless than I am. So now Mr. Ogunribido is trying to make a point that people, most Nigerians out there, I'm going to flip this backward. Yeah, most Nigerians are not seeing things the way both of us are looking at the situation of things in Nigeria. So he made a comment and then said we are in deep shit. We're in deep trouble in Nigeria, which I totally agree with him, because the things that are physical to some of us that are not readily physical to the outside world is the mere fact that we've got, see, people like Fatai and I, we've got first class information about what's really going on behind the corridors of power, and we really know how to source our information through the back door and not through the normal press releases that will be sent out to each and every media organizations, from the government departments, the media departments of the various countries in the world. You see, but we are so passionate about our own country, Nigeria, because we just don't have any other country apart from Nigeria. So why are we so blindfolded in Nigeria? Now, today is Friday, the 30th day of November 2018. We're fast approaching the Christmas period. So Christmas Day is just round the corner. Everybody's preparing for that Christmas, although all my children are grown up. So left to me, I don't celebrate Christmas anymore. So rather than celebrate Christmas, I just try and unwind and recap on things that I must have done wrong, look back into my achievements over the course of the year. Now, guys, we are in such a dire straits in Nigeria. Nigeria is currently at a comatose. I can see Mr. Adegbite, you've locked on as well. Now, the reasons why I am actually emphasizing on the fact that we are in a comatose is this. First and foremost, the issue of restructuring Nigeria is definitely not going to go away with me. That is number one. Number two, the issue of Muhammadu Buhari as a clone is not equally going to go away with me. The reasons why I am emphasizing on the fact that that issue definitely is not going to go away with me is this. Just this week, I want to take your mind back into some of the activities that actually happened recently. And in those activities, I want you guys to recap that the armed forces in Nigeria, they celebrated their General's Day, in which the president was in attendance. They supposedly President Muhammadu Buhari was in attendance. Yet let me just quickly acknowledge a few people. Jude or Shabeni, you're welcome. Chief Elejoka, you are welcome. Yes, Mr. Adigbite, I can spot you. Thank you very much for that. Today's topic is hashtag 2019 Nigeria Decides, episode 15. Straight into episode 15 because we treated episode 14 the last time. Now, in the last episode, episode 14, I came out to you guys and I buttressed my argument on our Muhammadu Buhari as a clone and the fact that the APC appointed Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to represent them at the presidential election debates. So the argument was it Yemi Osinbajo that Nigeria voted for as president? Why is Muhammadu Buhari shifting himself away from declaring himself public for Nigerians to face other presidential aspirants who want to vie in for the highest office in the land? So how come our president is moving away from facing the Nigerian electorate to defend his administration's 3.5 years, then convince Nigerians to re-elect him for a second term? So how come that the APC, the All Progressives Congress, are now pushing Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to face other presidential aspirants such as Atiku Abubakar, Omoyele Sowore, Kingsley Moghalu, and the rest of them? At the end of the day, I made a submission to tell Nigerians that we all say no to Buhari sending Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to face Nigerians to defend Buhari's records. Bad, worthless record in office. The Buharists and the Buharidins of this world will disagree with me. Okay? They will definitely disagree with me. Now, I'm going to show you a few things from my tablet because that was actually captured by a cartoonist in one of the papers in Nigeria. And the name of the cartoonist, you will all know Josie Ajiboye very well on Sunday, in which he came up with this cartoon. You can see that. So you can see that bread, the picture of Muhammadu Buhari there, and you can see the hand there with this big loaf of bread. And he came up and then said, "Your Excellency, you promised Nigerians cheaper bread. Now, A 10 kobo loaf of bread is now 70 kobo. That was contained in that. But it seems if Josie Ajiboye, one of the foremost cartoonists in Nigeria, is able to capture the multifarious activities and the sufferings that's been inflicted on many average Nigerians in Nigeria, then it seems to me that a handful of those Buharists and the Buharidins of this world are probably not seeing things the way Fatai Ogunribido, my colleague who is watching this show, Josie Ajiboye in Nigeria, and myself, and a handful of right-thinking individuals who are able to see things based on what is on ground, then I'm afraid those Buharists and those Buharidins will live to regret all their actions for simply being blindfolded, because it seems they don't really want to think about any other thing. They don't really want to think about the progress of Nigeria, what Nigeria is achieving, what have we achieved in the last 3 years, how many foreign investors have we managed to bring into the country, how many jobs have they created. You see, what they're probably not seeing is this. We all know that it is practically impossible for any government in any nation to provide employment for all the people. What each government does, or what they do, is they will create a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. They will create a conducive environment for foreign investors to come in and invest in their country. So by inviting foreign investors to come into your country, that means the government is creating that avenue whereby employment creation is taken away from their neck and then shouldered on to those investors who are coming in to invest in your country. It is not so in our case. It is not so. Now, Buhari again, on the contrary, made his appearance. Let me take a few comments because I just swiped back the screen. Ayogundimu said, the APC think Nigerians are not aware. They are joker. Indeed, they are jokers of the highest order. They are a joke. Isaac Adegbite said, does Atiku have anything to offer Nigeria? I'm coming to you, Mr. Adegbite. Ayogundimu said, we say a big no, Buhari must come and defend himself live on TV. I will still come back to that. Kingsley Agberiba said, why is Atiku keeping quiet over the clown thing? In fact, both APC and PDP are suspect. Okay, I'm going to take Isaac Adegbite. Does Atiku have anything to offer? Here, Mr. Adegbite, that answers your query. Now, Atiku's motto, his slogan this coming election in 2019 is themed, let's get Nigeria walking again. Perhaps, Mr. Adegbite, if you want me to send you Atiku Abubakar's manifesto that was released, I'll be too pleased to send you that manifesto. But up until now, we are less than 90 days to the general elections in Nigeria. But the candidate, the supposedly Buhari that Mr. Adegbite and a few other Nigerians who are blind cannot see, is that why is Muhammadu Buhari not coming out to tell us exactly what he hoped to achieve in 2019? So why have they come up with that slogan, next level? See, as a publicist and as an information man, Mr. Adegbite, I'm still taking you on. If I'm asked to actually dissect the weight of the two slogans that these two candidates came up with, hashtag let's get Nigeria walking again and hashtag next level by Muhammadu Buhari. As an information man, Mr. Adegbite, I think hashtag let's get Nigeria walking again makes a lot of sense to me and many other right-thinking Nigerians out there, because I don't really know the next level at which the APC and Muhammadu Buhari intend to take Nigeria to in 2019. The level that we are currently is so appalling that Nigeria is now rated the poverty capital of the world. Used to be India. So if Muhammadu Buhari is taking Nigeria into the next level, hell knows exactly what's going to happen to that country, Mr. Adegbite. I don't know the level, the next level that Muhammadu Buhari and the APC wants to take Nigeria to. Not that I haven't got my own problems right inside the PDP. I don't belong to any of these political parties. You know that. And I've made my stand and everything known to you guys. So here, Atiku came up with his plan on how to grow the agricultural sector in Nigeria. And he said, and I quote, I will, through NASA, improve agriculture sector's access to financial services, securing lending to the sector with commercial and development finance institutions. You see, he's done it before. Some of you might say he's corrupt, he's that. But then and again, left to me and left to many other Nigerians, I would rather have a taste of Atiku in 2019, and if Atiku fail Nigerians again, Nigerians should kick him out and get in the next person. If that next person fail, they should kick that person out again until we get it right. We keep kicking them out. So if they know that in their first term, if they don't perform, Nigerians will be glad to kick them out and won't give them the second chance or the second opportunity to even come close to power. That is the direction at which I feel we will be going. Hence, as from now, Ayogundimu said, we say a big no. Buhari must come and defend himself on live TV. Is he going to come? No. Because I watched, in fact, let me just go back into this folder. I watched the Nigerian Army General's stuff on Channels TV, and watching those clips of Muhammadu Buhari, I could see that channels were not really beaming the camera directly towards the cloned Muhammadu Buhari, and by the time Muhammadu Buhari made his speech, it was very clear that that was not Muhammadu Buhari. So if just this week I could spot it, and many people could spot it as well, that that was not Muhammadu Buhari, because I'm going to play you something in here, and I'm going to play you a clip previously. Hang on. Kingsley, yeah. Prince Adebukun said, Frank, hate to miss your program, but could we for now leave the cloning of Buhari and focus on restructuring Nigeria? Although nothing is impossible, trust me to believe that this man. Okay, let me take that again. Trust me to believe that this man in Aso Rock leading Nigeria presently is not the real Buhari, gets as he be in my ears. And each time the story comes up, it seems we are enjoying a ride on a train into the realms of fantasy. I hope we are not leaving priority to haunt pernicious and needless shadows. I may be wrong, but my instinct reminds me that if this cloning is true, the likes of Obasanjo and others would have blew the whistle. I'm so sure of that. He did. Obasanjo did. Indirectly, they all knew exactly what was happening. Saratu Ahmed, you're welcome to the show. Honorable Faligan, Opayemi David, you're welcome to the show. Atiku has unpaid taxes on his personal income. Oh, Sahara reporters, I'm coming back to that. I'm seriously coming back to that. Yeah, because I think Atiku was taken up on that, but not that he did not pay his personal income tax. No. What they were referring to was his corporation tax, and his companies are not owing the inland revenue in Nigeria. His companies, all his business empires, are up to date with their taxes. In terms of personal, Atiku is only a director. He's a director to all those business empires he owns. So his companies, as far as I know, they've paid their income taxes. So, not that I'm supporting Atiku for this fact, but let's call a spade a spade. Jonathan Drojaye, you are welcome to the show. Now, I'm going to play you this clip. Listen to this.
So all our generation,
listen, this was conducted by Kayode Gundamisi, now one of the online...
General, a lot of people will support General Muhammadu Buhari's aspiration to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, if elected as president, what will be your strategy and tactics to ensure corrupt-free
this was the clip I'm currently playing. Maybe you can see that, guys.
Well,
yeah,
we have to start somewhere. I think it's part of the law now that people who occupy public office will declare their assets. I don't think that has been removed since the days of the military administration, especially with the Muhammad regime. So all our generation that occupied positions in government have declared their assets. So it's not difficult if subsequent governments were serious about tackling.
See, declaration of assets. See, let's call a spade a spade. Did Muhammadu Buhari really declared his assets with his 150 cows in Daura? We'll leave that for now. Now, let me go back into some other stuff, because what we really need to look at, we need to keep asking Muhammadu Buhari what he intends to do or his intentions for Nigeria. And as for Prince Adebukun, may I ask very politely, why is Muhammadu Buhari refusing to make himself available for a presidential debate? At the end of the day, he made himself available for the same presidential debate in 2015 to convince Nigerians why he was a better option than Goodluck Ebele Jonathan at the time. So how come now this same Muhammadu Buhari is now objecting to making himself available? Before I came online, I gathered from reliable sources that Atiku Abubakar has volunteered himself to go head to head with Muhammadu Buhari. So why is Buhari moving away? Or why is he drifting himself away completely from the issue of the presidential debate? It is a very, very important debate in which Nigerians will have the opportunity to ask that person who is to lead them for the next 4 years tough but difficult questions. You see, one thing I would have probably asked right-thinking Nigerians as well to look into, in which personally I am going to send in my own personal questions to whosoever media organization that is conducting that presidential debate. Nigerians will need to ask the future president, you've promised this, you've promised that, you've promised that. How do you intend to raise the revenue to match those promises? Because in this country, in the United Kingdom, in the United States, and the rest of the European Union, they'll ask, how do you intend to raise the money to fund your program? Let me remind you guys, if you've forgotten, because I met with someone yesterday and I was actually discussing the issue. I think we drove past a grammar school up in Hillingdon, and then I said, oh, so you guys, you've got grammar school in Hillingdon? And then, oh, they said yes. I said, this is probably one in several that I have seen, because most of the grammar schools that I know are in Kent. And they said yes, but they've got their own grammar school. When Tony Blair, what is this boiling down to? Next to the grammar school, they've got an academy. So then Tony Blair's educational policy kicked in. Because when Tony Blair was canvassing the nation to vote for him as Prime Minister, he emphasized, please guys, don't forget, Tony Blair emphasized on education, 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 education. And he came into power. He told everyone how he was going to fund education. And that education, he fulfilled his promises by creating those academies all over the whole country, not just in one place, all over the United Kingdom. Failing schools, schools that are underperformance, Tony Blair turned them round. And those academy, if this one is not a specialist in science and technology, you'll see this one will be specialist in the arts. You see, Nigerians will have to ask our potential president in 2019, grill them, ask them, where will they get the money from? Don't allow them to tell you that money will be derivable from the sale of your crude oil. No. Ask them, how do you intend to fund this program? Atiku's agricultural program, how are you going to fund that agricultural program? Your health program, how do you intend to fund those health programs? Your educational programs, how do you intend to fund those programs? These are the questions Nigerians should be asking their potential leader in 2019. And don't just fold your hands. See, those days, I think the last time we had a 10-year development plan, that was the very absolute last time that Nigeria had a plan, because I think I was a guest on Ayogundimu's show on AY Citizen, and I think I did made mention of the fact that they destroyed education, they destroyed everything in that country, so that many Nigerians will be in complete darkness. The last time we had a 10-year development plan in Nigeria was when the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo was the Federal Commissioner for Finance and the second man in charge of the economy of that country. That was the last time Nigeria had a 10-year development plan. And in that development plan, Chief Awolowo was emphasizing on education, education, education. Convinced Gowon to educate Nigerians, but as hopeless and ruthless as those leaders were, starting from General Gowon, Gowon never paid any good attention to details with the education. Rather, he destroyed the three regions that were thriving on their own, the western region, the eastern region, and the northern region, then created the 12 states, making the country a unitary system of government. No. Education, education. And that education, Chief Awolowo followed everything, and in those days there were schools management board, schools were being inspected like we've got Ofsted inspection in this country. We had everything. We had teachers training college for primary school, colleges of education for those who wants to teach at secondary school, and the rest of it. All of them, they were being inspected. There was schools management board, and each and every schools management board managed the affairs of those primary school and secondary school in their board. They destroyed everything. On Ayo Ogundimu's show, I was telling people, I was telling his audience live on that show that here we are in the Nigeria of 2019. Nigerian leaders, they don't even know how many children are in primary school. They don't know how many students are in secondary school. Because somebody was talking about data and how they can collate information without data. Government cannot function. You cannot plan. In this country that we are, since the moment a child is born, they've opened, the system had already opened up a file for that child since birth. So automatically, they know when that child will be 16, and by the time before that child clocks 16, that child's national insurance number automatically comes in through their post. They got those information because the moment a child is born, they know it from the child benefit they've been paying the mother. So automatically, by the time that child is just a few months to being 16, automatically his national insurance number comes in through their door. So that translates to mean that if that child should finish his GCSE and refuse to go further, he wants to go into employment, that means that child is ready for employment. But in our country, they don't take stocks of those records. So if they don't take stock of the records of the number of children that are in primary school, the number of children that are in secondary school, how can they budget on education? Ask our leaders. Where will they get the money from to fund all their campaign promises? That is the nitty-gritty of the whole thing. If I have to go into business I will have a business plan. I'll have my cash flow projection. I'll have my profit and loss account. I'll have everything. Where are their plans? Ask them. Don't just take the television debate as something that, will be, let's see what he's going to say. Okay, you promise us this, no promises. Ask them. If they promise you, ask them how they are going to fund it. It's a big shame. You see, from 1999 to 2011, from 1999 to 2011, you see, Nigeria realized a total sum of revenue from oil close to, in fact, more than quadrillions of naira. We're talking about 7.6 trillion naira, assuming that barrel was stable at a modest $70 to a barrel, and at 2.5 million barrels per day. It is more, just average. $7 trillion. Between 1999 and 2011. In the last podcast, I made it known to you guys that the United Kingdom embarked on the biggest engineering construction in the whole of Europe, the Crossrail network. The Crossrail, if I may say, has cost the British government a total sum of about 14.9 billion pounds. 14.9 billion pounds. When the Crossrail is a rail line, a brand new rail line that cuts from the far end of east of England, from Sheffield in Essex, right all the way through to Reading in the west, in Berkshire. When I say one of the biggest engineering construction work in Europe, and it costs just 14.9 billion pounds. Along the line, there were existing stations, there were new stations created, but the Crossrail starts all the way from Sheffield in Essex, Brentford in Essex, Harrow Wood in Essex, Gidea Park, Romford, Chadwell Heath, Goodmays, Seven Kings, Ilford. Then it flows into normal line, Manor Park, Forest Gate, Maryland, Stratford, Whitechapel, Liverpool Street, Farringdon, Tottenham Court Road, Bond Street, Paddington, Acton Main Line, Ealing Broadway, West Ealing, Hanwell, Southall, Hayes and Harlington, and then West Drayton. From Hayes and Harlington, if you need to go down into Heathrow, then you change, and then another line takes you to terminals 1, 2, 3, and then terminal 4, and then terminal 5. If you want to carry on straight westbound, then you get to Ivor, Langley, Slough, Burnham, Taplow, Maidenhead, Twyford, and Reading. Big. All for £14.9 billion. And the Crossrail only started recently. In Nigeria, we've got Amechi, Rotimi Amechi, still proud on his Abuja Kaduna rail. That is rubbish. That given that opportunity, the British will probably construct within 6 months. And they're laying claim to the fact that they have achieved something. No. They've achieved nothing. The mere fact that foreign investors pulled out of Nigeria into neighboring countries like Ghana should tell Nigerians who are incapacitated, who are incapable of seeing with their two naked eyes, that something is definitely wrong. With that administration, with Buhari's administration. Something is wrong because there are many outgoing Nigerians with talents and skills who really want to go in. They don't want to depend on government. They want to create jobs. Look, it is there. They want to create a conducive environment for Nigerians to make it. They want to impact Nigerians with knowledge, transfer knowledge onto them. Create many opportunities, like, for instance, in the publishing sector to which I belong. There are many things. But is the opportunity there? No. Is the energy for us to operate as publishers, is it there? No. Because within the publishing industry, the printing and the publishing industry cannot survive without stable electricity. It is practically impossible. Guys, on Ayo Ogundimu's show, I was telling him I did a project in my second year on my degree in book publishing practice, to which I looked very thoroughly into textbook provisions for the Nigerian children. And some of the obstacles which I outlined were so many. The problems associated with them were so many. Have we got authors that can write books in the language that Nigerian children will understand? No. Have we got printers that can actually print those books to world standard in Nigeria? No. Have we got the electricity to actually run those printing farms to keep chunking out books for the Nigerian children? No. What are we doing to improve the country on indigenous publishing now that we don't have Macmillans and Evans operating in Nigeria? How do you want to educate your children? Where are the authors? Where are those people that will write those books? In those days, we used to have Onibonje publishers, Fagbamigbe publishers. These were indigenous, local indigenous publishers in Nigeria who commissioned authors within the country to write books for the Nigerian children in a language they understand. Where are they? They are not existing. These are the questions we should be asking anyone who wants to be the president in 2019. Don't ask them anything about money they are going to make from oil. Ask them. We don't want to hear about money from oil this time. No. Ask them how they intend to raise that money minus oil. Jamil Yusuf, you're welcome. I think I'm still going to talk to you later on, Jamil. Alaji Aziz Salami, you're welcome. Ayono Banjo, you are welcome. We have a problem. If they say education, fine. I want to see each and every government's policy, each and every of those aspiring presidential candidates' policy on education, because education is the key to everything that we have to do in our world. Without education, you can't go nowhere. I want to see their policies on education. I want to see their policies on foreign relations. Those are the two key issues that we should be asking anybody, whosoever, who wants to be president of Nigeria in 2019. I've just given you an instance. The Crossrail. Another one is coming up now. The HS2. Amechi started his own long time. When they came into power, all their rubbish, Kaduna, Abuja, rail, this, rail, that they're building. And they said, oh, that's the achievements in their administration. Rubbish. David Cameron came there just recently, came up with another brilliant idea of HS2, high speed 2. HS2, straight from London to Birmingham in 1 hour. I bet you HS2 will be, it's one of the fastest as well in the world. They've only just started it. And it is due for completion, I think, next year or so. Guys, I'm just wired up. Ayogundimu said, this is why we need a live TV debate. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is he going to come out? Is he going to come out to... Because if he comes out to face that live TV debate, Ayogundimu, that man will be exposed. Because the camera and everything will be beamed on him. We're in for some big trouble. We're in, like Fatai Ogunribido said, we're in deep shit. Well, how do we get out of it? It's a question. How do we get out of it? Even if Omoyele Sowore is coming to participate in that same debate, I think the same question should be thrown at Omoyele Sowore as well. But how do you intend to raise money to fund all your programs, your manifesto? We have to ask them. Guys, we have to. If you don't ask them, then we're doing something wrong. That means we had already succumbed to them. Guys, let me see. We're such in a big mess, guys. We're such in a big mess. I'm not gonna lie to you. That mess, only heaven knows how we are going to get out of it. To be honest with you, how Nigeria will get out of that mess, I still don't know. I still don't know. And if we remember, the late Aminu Kano, one of the foremost leaders in the Second Republic, said, and I quote him, "Nigeria will know no peace until the son of nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody." We are in a terrible state. And I think Nigeria really deserves the very best leader in 2019. I don't know who this person is going to be, but all I care for is that I want that conducive environment in which everything will work in that country. Nigeria is at a comatose. Nigeria has been crying for help for a very long time. We need to get it right. It's not fair on those of us who are in the diaspora to be funding and be sending money to people in Nigeria. It is not fair. If we leave from the UK to come over to Nigeria, even on holiday or something, a lot of people will depend on those that comes from abroad. If those who are in Nigeria should travel abroad to meet us here, they equally expect us to be helping them. Life shouldn't be like that. We really and truly need a leader that can salvage that country. That country has been battered, and it's been battered. You see, then and again I have a problem. So the problem I have is this. We've got Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate, and the people equally surrounding Atiku as well. A majority of them are those people that plunged the country into the moribund state that the country is. So how is Atiku going to play the game when we've got a whole load of corrupt people even inside the PDP? That is where my problem lies. The second problem, what if Atiku should win that election? Are we going to see another mass defection of people from the APC to the PDP? Is it going to happen? I wait to see that. But Nigerians should be clever. You need to be clever. Those of you who are still blindfolded, who are in darkness, I wish and I pray you guys should see the light and see things from the angle at which Josie Ajiboye, Fatai Ogunribido, and myself and many other right-thinking Nigerians are looking at our situation, our current predicament. Guys, I think the time is now going to about 12:40. Today, Friday, the 30th day of November 2018. I'd like to end this podcast, this glorious Sunday afternoon, by telling you guys to please bear one thing in mind. And that thing, it must be at the back of your brain. We need to ask our future leader how he intends to fund his program, his agenda, his manifesto. We need to question him on all of his policies. Don't forget, four major things are crucial to any average, normal human being. First is education. 2 is employment. 3 is health. 4 is housing. Those 4 issues, we have to look deep into them, because those are the 4 basic things that makes you to be human. We need to question them on those. So guys, let me bring this podcast to an end. I'd like to seize the opportunity to thank each and every one of you once again for tuning in to watch this program. Let me quickly take a few comments before I say goodbye to all of you. Ayogundimu said, we need to make Nigerians aware of their rights and begin to encourage Nigerians to demand those rights from those in governance. Yes. Ayogundimu said,